Hi everybody and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. On this video we've got stories from entitled parents, malicious compliance, and today I effed up. So if you want to get started with the stories, then just use the timestamps below the video. Now I'd like to thank all of you that support me in so many different ways and enjoy my videos. It really means a lot to me, so thank you. And if this is the first time watching one of my videos and you like it, then consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Discord. Now let's get started with today's stories. This post is from the subreddit Entitled Parents and it's by user 3Nations. The entitled parent threatens to call the cops on me, demands I give up my front lawn to her children to use, and let her use my porch before having a total meltdown. Okay, so this was a while ago, but bear with me. So during the COVID lockdown in my home country, I was fortunate enough to not get laid off. However, I was one of those people who had to work from home 5 days a week for 8 hours a day. Now, usually I am able to stand looking at a computer screen for a good few hours, as there would be breaks in between due to meetings and such. After 8 hours of looking at my computer, my eyes were pretty damn sore and I would spend my evenings sitting outside the front of my house. I am quite lucky that I have a really nice scenic view from my front porch. My house is on a bit of a hill. So sitting outside looking at the city and the bay while listening to the wind going through the trees and the birds singing was really therapeutic for me after having spent 8 hours inside with limited sunlight or human contact. I live with one other person who is an essential worker at the hospital. We said about 150 words to each other the entire lockdown. Probably about 2 weeks into the lockdown, I was sitting outside admiring the sun setting over the city. I'll admit, I was zoned out as I had a couple of beers before going outside. I was just in my own little world when this woman came storming up to me on my porch. Side note, now there's a dialogue between the entitled mother and OP and a cop comes in later, so I'm just gonna do different voices to not be saying who's talking at each time. What do you think you're doing? Huh? What? Blinking and shaking my head to get back into the world. Oh my god, you have got to be kidding me. You're high and you're watching my children, you pervert? What? No, I'm not high. Wait, what are your kids doing on my front lawn? Well, you should know they're playing and they're having great fun and I was coming out to sit up here and watch them, but you came out to watch them, so go back inside now before I call the cops. Wait, you were going to sit on my porch? It's not yours, it's the public's. Okay, no. You're on my property. Your kids are on my property. You can't call the cops on anyone but yourself for trespassing and breaking social distancing. So please, go away. No, they're not trespassing. They're allowed to use this area and it's not yours, it's the public's. So for the second time, get inside now before I call the police. Okay, 1, don't yell at me again. 2, tell your kids to get off my property. And 3, call the cops. Go on, I dare you. She's now screaming. This man is a pervert. He's come onto my property and he's watching my children and he threatened me. Someone call the police. Help. My neighbor, a massive islander dude who came running out of his house to see what was going on, says, "What the? Oh, hey mate, who the hell is this person?" Honestly, I have no effing clue. She's still screaming. He just grabbed me. This man and his friend are trying to abuse me. Help me. Call the police. By now, her children are all crying and she's on the ground, crawling away as if I've just thrown her off my porch. Dude, what have I told you about keeping your D out of crazy? I wish there was more of a story here, man, but I literally don't know who the F this woman is. She continued to scream, and a few more neighbors came out to see what was happening. None of us recognized this lady. She clearly didn't live local. The cops did, however, show up due to my neighbor's partner calling the cops. She screams when the cops arrive and runs over to them. Help me! He's tried to kill me! The cops immediately thought something happened and that I was the instigator. Honestly, I don't blame them for doing their job, but I was scared as hell when they pulled their tasers on me. My neighbor and his partner, thankfully, were able to talk to the cop who came to me, so I was able to get back up off the ground. Cop goes, "Do you know this lady?" She was still screaming in the arms of another officer with her kids crying. "No, I do not. She came up to me on my porch and started yelling at me. I don't know who the hell she is." "Okay, look. He tried to abuse me. He grabbed my pants," pointing at my neighbor, "and he held me down." "I see a camera up near your front door. Can you pull the footage, because otherwise I'm going to have to take you to the station to answer some questions. Your neighbor as well." "Dude, you're kidding." "It's that or the station. She's making some pretty serious accusations here." I took the cop inside, and it took me about 2 seconds to pull the camera footage I had of my front porch and lawn. It showed me going outside and sitting there for about 20 minutes before the kids arrived and started playing on my lawn, and then the lady coming up to me and screaming and faking everything. "Okay, we'll be back later because we will probably need to get a copy of it. Do you want to press charges?" "Just get her and her kids the F off my property." "No problem. Careful with the drinking. It's easy at the moment to let go." The cop went back to entitled mom and told her that she had to leave, to which she went absolutely crazy and accused the cop, who was a guy, of being sexist for not believing her, a real victim of assault. One of her kids then kicked the cop and another jumped onto the hood of their car and started jumping up and down on it while he just screeched. When the cop's partner grabbed the kid and pulled them off the car, entitled mom threw a punch and then started kicking the cop when he was down while screaming at him for assaulting her kid. It felt pretty good seeing her get tasered. End of story. 2 more cop cars turned up with 2 officers. She got taken away, still screaming, and her kids got taken into care. I spent the rest of that night sitting near the fence with my neighbor on the other side, having some drinks, talking about the F what had just happened. We had to give statements about it, and I made a copy of the camera footage. Thankfully, the camera angle showed the cop being assaulted and the kid jumping up and down on the car. And there you go, another Karen ruining it for everybody. For starters, she was claiming false assault, which is disgusting. Before that, she had the audacity to go up to OP and tell him to go inside his own house so she could sit on his porch while she watched her children. What the hell is wrong with this lady? On top of that, she assaults a police officer when she's getting taken into custody because she got caught lying of assault, which is serious. So yeah, I think OP, you're absolutely right. It must have been satisfying watching this person get tasered. Also OP, don't sleep on this. Press charges. She needs to learn a lesson here. You're the one that's in a position to be able to teach her. Even though this is not an Am I the A-hole post, she is totally beyond being the a-hole here. Ugh. Anyways, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user BearJCC. Customer had a reservation for the 4th floor at a 3-floor hotel, so I took her to the roof. Several years ago, I worked the front desk at a privately owned hotel, non-chain, that had been a Days Inn 5 years prior. The only way to book a reservation was to talk to the front desk staff. No online reservations, no third-party reservations. About 50% of our rooms were sold to walk-ins. One holiday weekend, we are booked full. Our elderly elevator is having some trouble with all the traffic and spooking guests, so I close it and call for a repairman. But it's 10 o'clock at night, so I'm not expecting anybody until the next morning. All of our guests are checked in, our accessibility rooms are on the same floor as the lobby, so I'll just help out anyone with their luggage if they have more and put up a sign saying so. In walks a woman I don't recognize from check-in. She plops a piece of paper in front of me and then goes and gets lots of luggage. The paper shows her with a reservation at Days Inn at this address for tonight for 1/10 the price we were selling before being fully booked. She comes back to the desk, likely thinking I have been checking her in all this time. Side note again, same thing with a dialogue, 2 voices. I regret to inform you that we do not accept third-party reservations. We are unfortunately already booked for the night. I have a reservation, it's right here. I paid good money for it. Ma'am, I believe you. Unfortunately, you are not in our system because we don't take third-party reservations. They sold it to you fraudulently. You're just trying to steal my money. I have a confirmation number right here. I handed it to you. Yes, ma'am. You handed me a reservation to a Days Inn. We are another hotel, gesturing to a sign. All of the signage inside and outside the building is correct. Also, this is for a 4th floor room. We only have 3 floors. I stayed at this Days Inn last year on the 4th floor. This argument continues for a while, with me keeping my cool, informing her that we are booked, all of our rooms are full, me insisting that we don't have a 4th floor, not a Days Inn, don't take third-party reservations, etc. Eventually, she screams at me that I'm going to take her to her room on the 4th floor, which she paid for right now. I don't respond. I just stare at her with a blank face until she slaps the desk and screams, "Now!" again. I don't mime making a room key, but I do grab my huge keyring and we both load ourselves up with her excessive luggage and climb the stairs. Once we get to the 3rd floor, I gesture to the 3rd floor sign and tell her it is the 3rd floor. I then use my maintenance key to unlock the door to the maintenance stairs, which are not lit, and she trudges up behind me, not saying anything. I open the door to the tarred roof and walk outside. And here is the 4th floor. I hope it is as nice as the last time you stayed here. I drop her luggage and go down the stairs back to the front desk. Honestly, had she been nicer to me, I would have tried to help her get a room at a different hotel and submit documentation to try and get her a refund or chargeback from the third party, but since she screamed at me, I left her and her luggage on the roof. Plus, she insisted she had stayed on the 4th floor, so that's what she got. Edit. There was an option at the bottom of the stairs to go straight outside instead of coming by the front desk. I didn't see her again, and she wasn't there when I went to lock the roof back up on my midnight rounds. Well, another rude Karen gets what she deserves. She wanted the 4th floor, she got that 4th floor. Hopefully Karen learned her lesson. Not only did she lose money on a reservation that was never going to happen, but she also had to haul down all of her luggage from the roof to the outside without going through the front desk. But then again, it's a Karen, so it's highly unlikely that she learned anything. Anyways, we move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Today I Effed Up, and it's by user SpiderSlayer x10. Today I effed up by breaking a $2,000 laptop on my first day of the job. I've been reading these for a while, and let me tell you, I did not want to be writing one on the first day of my awesome new job that I've been looking forward to starting. This just happened 1 hour ago, right before leaving the office. I'm a college student. I study computer science and was lucky enough to land an internship doing software development with a really good, unnamed, company near me. For the job, they provided me a brand new, out-of-the-box $2,000 MacBook Pro to use for work. The whole day went great. I learned about the position and even got lunch with a few coworkers that just graduated from the same college I go to, and it was a great time. Up until 10 minutes before we left for the day. I had a minor software issue on my laptop, so my coworker Bob and I started walking over to the IT department together to get it fixed. It was only about 20 feet away, so I just carried the laptop in one hand while it was still open so we could quickly show the IT guys the software issue. That was where I effed up. Now, to get through the doors of this building, you have to scan a security badge for it to unlock. Before starting the job, I was told specifically by a higher up there, let's call him Charles, that I have to scan the badge when going through a door even if someone holds the door for you. Well, when Bob and I got to the door to the IT area, Charles just happened to be coming out. So after walking through the door, he held it open for us. Bob walked through first, pausing to scan his badge. I go to do the same thing, pausing to scan my badge, and Charles lets go of the door. And let me tell you, these are heavy-ass doors that close automatically for security. Well, my laptop was in my left hand, and when that door closed itself, it used the screen of my Mac as a damned door jamb. The base of the computer is intact and just fine, but the entire screen portion of the laptop is bent and broken. I feel like it's partially the other dude's F-up for letting go of the door when I was standing there scanning my badge, but I also shouldn't have been holding my laptop open with one hand while walking, so I don't know. I hope I have a job tomorrow morning though. OP, honestly, I don't think it was your F-up. I think Charles let go of the door too soon. I've done that, and I think anybody who's worked in an open office or in an office with other people and you've got laptops for your job, if you need to go to somebody else, you don't particularly close your laptop. You just, you keep it open, you walk over, you show whatever you need to show, and you carry on with your work. Maybe it is a little bit reckless and your story will now be told as a cautionary tale, but I don't think this was your F-up. Even so, I hope you do have a job tomorrow. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing, and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.